Ciao, and welcome back to my channel, where we explore how to develop your soft skills to create the life you desire. Today, as promised, I'm going to talk about the law of the spigot. What is it? In a previous video, I spoke about the laws of receiving. So what are those laws that help you to actually start receiving more and make sure that the effort that you put in sees a result that matches it? Today, we're going to understand and explore the fourth law, because it's a very deep law that in the moment in which you really understand it and make it yours, will help you to switch a lot of things in your life. It's called the law of the spigot. First of all, we need to understand what a spigot is. And in the moment in which you picture a spigot, what happens? That you realize that a spigot has a few characteristics. So the reason why the spigot is our image is that, of course, it allows something to flow. And when we want to receive something, we need to imagine that it flows to us, okay? And that, because that's the feeling that we have. You know, when you're in a good moment, you feel like the universe is aligned or that everything is going well. You may think, oh, I'm under a lucky star. Everyone pictures it in a different way, but the feeling is that things happen effortlessly. And that's an amazing feeling. The spigot helps us to understand why that happens. So think about a spigot. First of all, there are three aspects to the spigot. First aspect, the spigot can be on or off. And this is up to us. When is it on and when is it off? It's off when we are putting walls. We don't want to receive. We are pushing everything out, okay? It's on when we are open to allowing everything in. The problem is, or the challenge is, that in the moment in which it's on, we will start receiving good and bad, both, indistinctively. And this is why it's scary at times. At times you may have been hurt, at times you've given a lot and you haven't received, at times people betrayed you, at times things didn't work out, and opening the spigot and making sure that you allow things to come in is not always easy. At times it's easier to give up on everything beautiful that can come in favor of some safety, in favor of not suffering anymore. But if we want to allow good things in, we need to turn the spigot on. That's the only possible way. We can't help it. So the first thing that we need to do is to start opening it. And to do that, you need to trust. You need to trust yourself. You need to remember the law, the third law of receiving, that says that nothing will come that's wider than your shoulders. So even if something bad happens, you are going to be able to handle it. Remember that. Because if you don't remember it, what happens is that you're not going to turn it on and you're not going to receive anything beautiful of all the amazing things that you want. And then, of course, having faith, trust in life, call it however you want, but knowing that everything that happens for you. And it may be painful. I'm not a fan of those who say everything is good, to just look at the positive side. No, because I think that certain things are painful. But if they're happening to you, they're also happening for you. So you can turn them around. And when we remember this, it's going to be easier to just switch on the spigot. Second thing of the spigot. In the spigot, we can choose the flow. Will it be a lot of flow coming in or just a few drops coming in? That depends on the intensity of the emotional state that you are living. What does it mean? If you take all the emotions that you may experience, you can put them on a spectrum, where on one side there are very strong negative emotions, on the other side you have very strong positive emotions. In the middle there are dull emotions. So you have this spectrum, and for example, if I tell you anger will usually be on this side of the spectrum. So strong negative emotions. Then of course, if you are enraged or slightly annoyed, the intensity will be different. On the other side, we may have joy, we may have enthusiasm, or we may have being okay. So like kind of less intense positive emotions. In the moment in which we have this spectrum, we understand that if we are in a moment in life in which we are not allowing ourselves to feel strong emotions on either side, the flow will be very little. So it will be very weak, just a few drops coming in. And if on the other side we are experiencing a lot of emotions, we are more open, and so more will come. So this is a point to keep in mind, and I'm going to make a couple of examples after point number 3. Point number 3 about the spigot is that you can choose what temperature the water will be. But the only way you have to choose, you don't have any switch, anything. The only way you have to choose the temperature is your focus. So if you focus on everything that you don't have yet, all the things that you wish you had, all the effort that you put, but that is not paying off and so on, guess what? The temperature will not be the one that you want. If on the other side, you focus on all the things that you're going to create, all the beautiful emotions that you are already experiencing simply by working towards something, then the temperature will be exactly the one that you want. I'll make an example. Imagine that I have a huge goal at work and it's not coming yet. And when I think about it, when I talk about it, I'm like, yeah, I know, I would like it to happen, but it's not happening. I'm a bit like that. Now, the spigot is on, first point. Second point, is the intensity high? No. Third point, is the temperature the one that you want? No. So what happens? That probably you will start receiving small little annoyances, like a bit of paperwork that you didn't want to do, an extra bill that you weren't expecting. So not huge problems in your life, but with the intensity that you're experiencing, small things that are not really of the temperature that you would like. How do you get to the temperature that you want, to the intensity that you want? Answer this question. And you can do it as an exercise because it can be very, very powerful. If you had just received the news that the thing that you want to receive has been achieved, how would you feel? So what you can do is to imagine someone telling you, hey, John, you've been promoted. Or, hey, John, you've achieved this goal. Hey, John, your partner has proposed. Okay, so imagine someone announcing that you have reached that thing. How would you feel in that moment? It's like when you win the lottery, right? So how do you feel in the moment in which you find out that you won the lottery? How do you feel in the moment in which you find out that you've got the job of your dreams, or that you have made a difference that you really want to make in the world? So how do you feel in that moment? That kind of emotional state is the emotional state that you should have before receiving it, because that's what will allow your spigot to allow the flow of the temperature you want, the intensity that you want. Try this and start reflecting on the things that you want to receive but you're not receiving yet. For sure, there will be certain things in which your spigot is off completely. And I'll tell you something more about being off completely, because there are people that think, listen, for this area, I will switch it off, and for this area, I will switch it on. Maybe I've been hurt in a couple of relationships, so off there, but I'm okay with work, so on there. No, there's only one spigot, one. So either it's on or it's off. If you close the flow for a couple of relationships, you will see that sooner or later also work will not really go as you want to, and vice versa. So it's very, very important to remember there's one spigot. You choose whether to have it on or off. And if you decide to be intermittent, at times people do that, right? So, now I want something, so let me turn it on. Oh, I don't care now. Off, on, off. What happens? They will be rusty. So things will not really come when you want them, of the quality that you want, and so on. So we need to have the courage to just switch it on, keep it on, and build the life that we want. It's not easy. It needs to be taken step by step. But when you start doing it, you will see that a lot of amazing things will flow towards you. And you really will feel that it's effortless. But it's not effortless. It's just the other side of giving. And maybe you've been giving your whole life the best you could. And finally, things will come and will start happening. So thank you for watching. Make sure that you open your spigot. If you have any questions, just reach out to me. I'm here to help you out. And if you haven't watched this couple of videos yet, enjoy, because they will help you on this topic as well. Have a wonderful day and see you in the next video.